season 2 is coming back. So Jazzy, get in here. I did not kick you off the podcast. Y'all love these narratives. They did. Listen, I welcome all the jokes. Let me be clear. I welcome all jokes about this situation. I welcome even all narratives, kind of, right? Say what you want about me. It's welcome.
It's all true.
Last of Us season 2 is coming back, and we had a watch party in the Discord, and we had a tier for it for season 1. I'm gonna get it set back up for season 2 whenever it comes out. I don't know when it exactly comes back, but we're gonna do the same type of watch party. But other than that, After Dark, early access to Planet Xbox episodes, access to the Weapon Wheel Discord, my show that I do in the midweek, Facts or Fanboy. And you could submit trivia questions and gaming questions that we will answer during the show. If you want to submit gameplay like what you're watching right now for the podcast, link is in the description for you to drag and drop your gameplay in the folder. All right. So let's address the elephant in the room that everybody wants to talk about. Everybody's been in an uproar about. TikTok has been shut down. Everybody. I'm joking. Relax. Look at them. They mad. They getting mad. Why they getting mad, bro? It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. Why we can't laugh about things?
Do what you got to do. Weapon Wheel memes. Let's get it.
They gonna be killing me again. What? Listen, this nigga look like. This nigga Alex look like he broke into his own house. Look at this shit. He don't even look like he belong in there.
Can I not get an all butter croissant? Can I not do that?
All right. So Bond has been removed from the podcast. I made this decision completely unilaterally. It was all on me. Smooth, Jack, nobody else was involved in this decision making. Even though it was funny that Jack was still catching strays for something I did. That shit was funny. I ain't gonna lie to you. That was fucking hilarious. He was still catching strays. They felt like you had something to do with it.
This shit is crazy.
The reason I just made that... Oh, shit, I gotta fix the screen. The reason I made that decision in that way is because I didn't want anybody else, being involved. I'm BG, usually known as Broken Games, but I'm okay with being the bad guy, too. BG can stand for bad guy, right? And I listen.
You been thinking of that dog shit?
Hey, listen. Hey, listen.
That's why we just came back today.
Listen.
You've been writing that.
Hey, Jack, what's that Timberland gift? We like.
Hey, listen. One thing y'all gotta understand is, I've been on YouTube for a very long time, and I've been attacked and hated by a lot of different people, groups, and fan bases. It happens every other week for me. So y'all got to understand that if you think me being hated or talked about is going to influence me or hurt me or bother me, bro, it's the norm for me. It's my comfortable area to be hated. So people thinking that like, oh, we're going to dislike videos or we're going to keep bringing it up. And I'm like, okay, have at it. Enjoy. Y'all got to realize, like, listen, I'm truly, even though I may clap back at some of this shit.
Pause.
Bro.
You do what?
I clap back. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I thought you meant like, okay. Go ahead.
Even though I may clap back at some of the things people say, y'all must know by now, I don't give a fuck about how much y'all dislike me. Y'all have to know that by now. Right? Has that not been clear? I mean, so I need y'all to know that none of that shit does anything to me. I don't care how much y'all dislike me. Don't give a fuck. What's funny is apparently I make so many people butthurt that they're apparently like the hate for me causes mass gatherings. Have you seen it? Like somehow certain people come together and the masses come together when the reason is to hate on BG. It's amazing. It's amazing. Listen, it's amazing, right?
You talking about that pop up where everybody squash their beef?
Not only that, listen, I don't know nothing. Not only that, it's like suddenly individuals who people never supported before, they suddenly want to support them just to spite me. Why didn't you support these individuals before? Why did you wait till I did something you didn't like? That person has always been making content and always been making videos, and y'all didn't view those videos, y'all didn't like those videos, y'all didn't donate. So you wait for me to do something you don't like to support that person? So you don't actually care about supporting them, you just care about hating me. Okay. Not something I didn't already know, but interesting way that y'all function out there. That's interesting. But I removed Bond from the podcast simply because I thought the podcast would be better without him. That's really it. That's truly it. I know some of y'all are going to think that it is way deeper than that. It's way more than that. I promise you, there is nothing more to it than that. And some of y'all can't fathom that because you removed somebody from the podcast who's been on the podcast for 10 years because you thought it would run better? Yes. The fuck? Yes. Listen, I don't know how y'all function out there and how whatever set of rules y'all roll by and live by, but just because somebody has done something in the past does not entitle them to the future. I don't know what world y'all live in. Y'all live in some fantasy world. That shit does not exist in real life. You could get fired from you could get in real life, you can work at somewhere 20 years and they can fire you the next day. They don't give a fuck what you did the last 20 years. That don't mean nothing. It's appreciated. You were compensated for it. That doesn't guarantee you a spot nowhere. What are y'all talking about?
I think it's the way you did it, BG. Not to interrupt your rant, but I think they were more so saying like, damn, do you feel like you gave him a warning, or do you feel like you tried to converse to him like, hey, if you keep doing this, I feel like it's messing up the show? Like that, they feel like you didn't give him a chance to fix it, I guess.
Nah, BG, they said you caught him in the store still in boxers. The way you fired him.
What?
Nah,
the way I did it.
Oh,
like on Friday.
like, yeah, there wasn't a. They were saying there wasn't a vote, or you didn't tell them like, "Hey, I'm gonna kick you off." Like they felt like you was about to kick Blandrew off as well. Do you want to dispel that rumor that he?
I'm gonna get to that after. I'm gonna get to that, and that's another clearly idiotic take from people who probably don't pay attention to the podcast. But yeah, it was just that I thought the podcast would run better without him, and that's really it. There was nothing more to it than that, and like I think I could have handled it better, not changing the decision, but in the way that I told I guess the viewers and the public. But I don't regret my decision and at all. And it doesn't mean I hate Bond or anything like that at all. But I could have handled it better the way I rolled it out.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that on that.
People expected more so of a ceremonious sort of departure, considering who Bond is and how long he's been on a podcast. He's considered like a pillar. So they felt like no, he was more deserving of a I guess of a
ritual, like something respectful.
Yeah, like you know what I mean? Like this is it, or the last dance sort of type thing.
BG, they saying you got no morals, boss.
I don't give a fuck what they think. I don't give a fuck what they think. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck what they think. So and by the way, just to answer the previous question, and let's be clear, I have no problem answering any question, right? So anybody saying I'm dodging a question, I'm ready to answer all questions. Some y'all just may not be ready for the answers. Y'all already have in y'all head an answer that y'all believe, and y'all want me to confirm that. I'm not here to confirm whatever fantasy land you live in. I'm here to tell you the facts and the truth. But on the podcast, I have told Bond about some of the things that he's done, like the interruptions, the tangents. I brought this up live on the podcast. You can go watch the videos. It's there. So it's not like I've never said anything about it. I've addressed it to him. I've addressed all this shit to him. So I did that. And I didn't feel like I wanted to give some extra warning or sit down and talk to him. This is who Bond is. Listen, I believe that's who Bond is. So I'm not trying to necessarily change who you are. If that's who you are, stay who you are. And if I felt like that wasn't meshing well with the podcast, in my opinion, then I just removed them. That's really it. So there's and I've been seeing different comments, that people have been making and all that stuff. So I want to address some of the things. And if y'all see any questions in the chat that y'all think are good questions, bring it up to me. Now, Blandrew, let me bring up Blandrew. First of all, anybody who was making a big deal, first of all, Blandrew is welcome on the podcast anytime he wants. He can come back on the podcast anytime he wants. But anybody who's been watching the podcast knows that Blandrew has never been a consistent part of the podcast. Blandrew literally comes on the podcast for like 2 months. We don't see him again for like another 4 months. He comes back for 2 months. We don't see him again for another 6 months. And that's how it's been for the last 3 years.
But we all got bougie aunties that do that. They come for Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Sure, but people acting like, oh my God, Blandrew left it. Bro, Blandrew has left this podcast like 8 times since he started coming on. This is not new for Blandrew. This is normal for Blandrew. Is this not, bro, what most of the time when Blandrew came on the podcast, I didn't know he was coming. I didn't know when Blandrew was coming on the podcast and when he was not coming on the podcast. Most of the time, sometimes he would say some stuff, but a bunch of the times it was a surprise. Like, oh shit, that's Blandrew. So I'm like, when people are acting like, oh, Blandrew's gone too, I'm like, bro, Blandrew. And this is not shitting on Blandrew. I've told Blandrew this on the podcast, and I've told him this in the DMs that he's the most inconsistent person I know. Because like I said, he'd be like, oh, I'm coming back to the podcast. And then he'd be like, oh, I want to focus on my content. Then he comes back to the podcast. Oh, I'm leaving because I want to focus on my content. It's a pattern.
What was your favorite? Mine was when he got a girl. I think that was my favorite reason why he left.
That's what I'm saying. Blandrew has had a million reasons why he's left.
What about the timing though? The timing kind of crazy if you look at it.
Mm-hmm. He said it was because he actually wanted to start making content. And if you look at Blandrew's channel, and I'm subscribed to Blandrew's channel, this is how I know, Blandrew, in the last 2 years, Blandrew has made 3 videos, maybe 4.
He's on a roll. He's got to get the mojo. Come on, Doc.
So when he's in the past, when he said, oh, I'm leaving to make content, he never has. So he's finally, I think he's actually made 2 videos in the last 2 weeks. So he's finally actually doing it. And I think that he was interacting with the Discord and shit like that. And I think they were arguing and shit like that. So I think this is just one of those, the timing to me didn't have anything to do with Bond, in my opinion. I don't think so. You'd have to ask Blandrew. Either way, Blandrew could come on the podcast anytime he wants, but he was never this this member that I'm like, oh yeah, I expect Blandrew to be there every single week. It was never that. So people making a big deal out of that, I was like, okay, sure. But he can come on anytime he wants. People were talking about, oh, Weapon Wheel is going to be an echo chamber. I would never allow Weapon Wheel to be an echo chamber. I never have. I never will. You're a moron. It's like some of this shit I'm just going to give 5 seconds because it's not worth giving a whole explanation to because some of y'all are idiots. Weapon Wheel is going woke and professional. Again, you're a fucking moron. Okay. Okay. Let me dispel that right now that Weapon Wheel is going professional, whatever the fuck that is. Anybody who says that and believes that I kick Bond off to become professional, suck my dick until I come on your face and lather it all over your face.
What?
Now if I was trying to create some professional podcast, why would I say that?
Blink smooth. He got zoned in when you said
he licking his lips.
No,
my lips are ashy, bro.
No. You said that. That's
my
crazy.
lips have been dry the whole entire time. Nah, but go ahead.
Then you started salivating when you said that, right?
Come on,
bro. Smooth type facts when he said that. What the hell?
But
what the fuck?
But look, why would I say that? I'm trying to become professional and I'm trying to take the podcast and bro, shut the fuck up. What are y'all just be talking? Y'all just be yapping out there. Y'all just be yapping to whatever helps y'all sleep at night. Y'all come up with a whole bunch of reasons why shit happens. And there's some things I'm a say, And some people are going to take this as me shitting on Bond. It's not shitting on Bond. It's telling the truth. There were some people like, oh, the PC representation is gone now and the PC takes are gone now. I'm like, bro, if you've watched this podcast, when is the last time and how often have you ever seen Bond actually give you some PC specific and PC unique takes? When? Where? Outside of that Met game that he plays, Bond hardly talks about PC. Bond doesn't even really play any PC exclusive games. What are y'all talking about? Bro, I beat more PC games than Bond. Everybody in here damn near has a PC. I buy more PC parts than Bond. I literally talk about PC more than Bond on this podcast. That's not hating on him. That is fact. You can watch the videos and see that. You can watch the podcast and see that. So people acting like, oh, the PC, perspective is gone. I'm like, bro, what have y'all been watching? Y'all haven't gotten that from Bond in a long ass time.
But could you give him credit for being an elder statesman? As in, because he's been around so long, he kind of be like I don't want to say the standard, but the nigga that could speak to the then and now. How things are, how things were.
Bond is and was supposed to be that. That was his part, but he wasn't that anymore, and it wasn't for a long time. Like, let's be real. When we got opinions from Bond on games, it would be like 6 months after the game came out, damn near after everybody else done talked about it. After I done talked about, how it was on PC, my impressions of the game. And you wouldn't even get it that often. It was very rare, far and in between. I think he said he beat like 3 games last year, and one of them was like a multiplayer. I think one of them was like Helldivers that he kept on playing. So what like perspective on games was you getting? Like, okay, you made like the jokes and some of that shit Bond was saying. That's cool. But like to act like you're getting this PC perspective from him, I'm like, that wasn't happening. Absolutely wasn't happening. So I don't know what y'all was talking about there. So yeah, that is what it is. I mean, listen, I don't know what to tell you. That's just the truth. Now usually I don't address the butcher, usually I don't address the butcher, right? The sausage strangler, the meat mangler. Usually I